This is our kitchen's original pantry that we decided to turn into a wine bar. This space is a little bit like a closet, and so I kind of wanted to make it like a really moody, classic, Ralph Lauren-esque wine bar vibe to it. So we started out by wrapping it in this walnut plywood. We would suggest if you have a countertop to use that countertop as your level. But since we were working with nothing below it, Mike added that cleat and used a laser level to make sure that it was starting out on a level surface. So here he is adhering the plywood to the walls. He also used a stud finder before this to make sure he knew where the studs were in that back wall. There are no studs on the sides. So he's pasting it up there, and then he did use a couple pin nails to secure it to the wall. The next thing that he did was wrap it completely around on either side, and then he added cleats for the 3 shelves. So we kind of wanted to start out by figuring how much space should go between the shelves. Ideally, I wanted enough space between the countertop and the first shelf to have a wine bottle underneath it, and then from there, enough space for wine glasses on each shelf. So the paper towel, I don't know what he was doing there, but I really just wanted wine glasses. So it ended up being 19 inches from the countertop up to the shelf, and then 13 inches between the shelves after that. Here you can kind of see the cleats that he nailed and glued to the wall into the studs. And then these walnut plank boards are just resting on top of them. He did end up gluing them down. So the brass rails or the gallery rails are things that you can buy individually. They don't come as a complete set, although I've seen a couple retailers starting to sell shelves like this. But if you're trying to fit it to a custom size, it's kind of easy and worth it to just get all the pieces and assemble them yourselves. Here's Mike kind of struggling with the countertop, but we would suggest probably doing the countertop first instead of doing this last, because you do have to come up from the bottom then, and that's really, really tricky. So here he is finally getting the countertop up. But back to those brass rails. So when you do a brass rail, you're going to want to know the length that you have for your shelf, and then buy enough rail that will completely fill out that shelf. Okay, I hope that made sense. So I think the one that we bought was 36 inches long, and our shelves were actually 35 inches. So Mike just used a handsaw to just saw off an inch of the rail. Then you're going to want to see, do you need end posts, center posts, or corner posts? So what you're seeing here on our shelf are 2 center posts, and on either side 2 end posts. Reason being, the center posts have holes on either side, so you can thread the rod through them completely. And then those end posts have a hole just on one side, so it kind of caps off at the end. Here's a good shot of those under-mounted cleats. But if you're going to do like a return for your rail, you're going to want to make those end posts actually corner posts, because you'll be able to thread another rail through them like on a 90-degree angle. And these are nice too, because you can just screw down into the wood through the post at the bottom. They have a little hole there. So that was surprising to me. I wasn't exactly sure how we were going to adhere them to the board, but all you do is screw them down in. Overall, it was a pretty easy project. I mean, once we ordered everything, I think it was here in about a week, maybe 10 days. We had to wait on the wine fridge. But once it got here, we were done in 2 afternoons, like a good little weekend project. And what I really love about this project is it takes something that you have in your house, then you just reimagine it as a completely different space. So whether that's a closet, maybe a pantry, maybe like a linen closet, I could see doing this and using the brass rails and making this into like a homework station or a work from home station. I just love the look of it. It's classic. I love the wood wrap that we did with it. I think that too kind of cozies it up, kind of makes it moody, kind of gives you, hopefully, I don't know, it gives me that Ralph Lauren type of vibe. And our countertop, I didn't touch on that. That's from IKEA, and it's a laminate countertop, and we love the laminate countertops from IKEA. We don't have them like in our kitchen per se, but we used them before in our laundry room. We've used them in our pantry at our previous house. And they're durable, they're easy to cut down, and they come in some really cool styles too. So really love those if you are going to tackle this project as well. All right. Well, I hope this helped you guys. Hope it makes sense. And if you have any questions, please feel free. Shoot me a DM. I'm happy to help you with it. And you can find links to everything that we used on my blog. Take care.